A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome you all to my channel again. As you all know, my name is Dr. Tuba, and my main aim through this channel is to guide all the medical professionals, and especially the dentists who would like to consider other countries as an option to work in. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite country, which is the United Kingdom, and how to work as a dentist in the United Kingdom. Now, we all know we have to give the ORE exam. There are two exams, ORE Part 1 and ORE Part 2. I'm not sure if many people know this. I've taken the ORE Part 1 and I have cleared the ORE Part 1. I could not give the ORE Part 2 because then I decided to move to Denmark. But regarding the ORE Part 1 and Part 2, I do know considerable lot of information. Especially, of course, a shout out to one of my dearest colleagues, Dr. Faya. She really helped me and guided me in the information. Unfortunately, she could not really come on screen, but because of some personal reasons, but she did enlighten me about the application process and everything that you need to know regarding the registration. Now, in ORE, I would divide the video in parts because ORE registration and the exams, it is a longer process in comparison to the other countries, especially the registration is a bit complicated. So I would definitely make more videos, but I don't want it to be too overwhelming for you all, so the videos are going to be in parts. So in this video, we're going to discuss the main registration or application process, how to submit your application, what documents do you need, because it is a little complicated. And I myself, I made some mistakes when I was submitting this application, and I do not want anybody else to make the mistakes in application, because the registration process is actually difficult. It is not very easy when it comes to the ORE. So here we're going to talk about the application process, how to register, how to send your documents, and all of that information. And the rest of the exams, I'm going to talk about about the pattern of the ORE, etc. in my next video. So let's jump into the registration, guys. Okay, so let's now talk about the ORE registration steps. Now, the registration steps for the ORE are divided into three main parts, which are mentioned right below. The first, what you have to do is you have to download a form, and then you have to print the form from their website. The website links would be given right below this video. So you have to go to the website, you have to download the form and print it. The reason for printing is because you need your signatures, you need the referee signatures. So because of that, it has to be a hard copy. And then, of course, you have to send that form to the JDC. So it has to be a hard copy. Second, you have to collect all the documentation. Now, this can be a little overwhelming because there are a lot of documentation, but of course I have jotted it down to make it as easy as possible for everybody. So hopefully it will not be very complicated. And of course, we'll discuss it further. And the third would be to collect your documentation, the ones you have collected, the form that you have, and then you're going to send both of them to by post to the GDC. So these are the three steps that you have to do. Okay, so let's talk about the documentation now. The first thing you need is the application form. Of course, we have talked about it before. What we have to do is we have to go to the GDC website, we have to download and print the form. So now you have the hard copy of the form. That's the first thing. The second is you need one passport size photo. You need certified copy of your passport. You need the certified copy of your dental degree. You need the original NAREC certificate, the original certificate of good standing, the IELTS certificate, and you need two references. Basically, in the application form, you need to add some details of the references. The references will add some details, and then, of course, they will sign it. And the two references you need for your character reference and the clinical reference. So you need two referees for your character reference and your clinical reference. So for now, these are the main things you need for the ORE when it comes to the ORE documentation. Okay, so we have discussed the documentation. Now I would like to add some additional details which would be very helpful in relation to this ORE registration process. Firstly, when it comes to the proof of English proficiency, it is actually the IELTS UKVI or the academic IELTS that we have to give. And then the overall band should be 7, which is the overall band. And individually, you should have 6.5 in each section. Alternatively, you can also give the OET exam for dentistry, and the required grade is B overall, and in each section you need a B grade. I don't know much about the OET because I gave the IELTS, I remember. So it was actually my second attempt, I'll be honest. So please don't be discouraged if you do not clear the IELTS in the first attempt, because of course the score is high, and I do realize that it can be very discouraging. But don't give up on the IELTS, because I understand that many people actually do give up on the IELTS because it's hard to score. But just keep on giving it again and again, and you will definitely nail it in one of the attempts. Then let's talk about the NARIC. The NARIC is basically a certificate of comparability. So the procedure is not difficult at all. What you have to do is you have to go to their site. The link would be mentioned right below this video. You have to follow some easy steps, and you have to order a hard copy. The hard copy is very important because they need the original NARIC certificate. So for that, you need the hard copy so you can send them. And once you have ordered it, within 2 to 3 weeks, you will get the certificate. Okay, now moving on. If we talk about the clinical reference now, basically, according to the GDC guidelines, they need 1,600 clinical hours. So you have to write that in the form under the clinical reference, that 1,600 clinical hours you have done. And basically the way of writing it is, for example, you have to individually write it. Like, for example, I can say oral surgery I did 400 hours, prosthodontics 300 hours, like that. So like that, you have to mention the subjects and the hours. So in the end, it has to be 1,600 hours, clinical hours. So that's how it is done. And this clinical reference could be during your dental degree or after your dental degree as well. Okay, when it comes to the certificate of good standing, the certificate of good standing should not be more than 3 months. It has to be less than 3 months, otherwise it gets expired. And it has to be issued by the dental council of your country. Whatever your respective country is, the dental council of that country issues a certificate of good standing. Okay, and for the character reference, basically it can be a medical practitioner, and he should know the student for at least 1 year. That is the requirement for the character reference. At least for 1 year, the doctor, the medical practitioner, should know the student. And one very important thing, this has to be filled by the referee. Many times students have made mistakes that they have written it themselves, and of course gotten the sign later of the referee, but that document, usually that form gets rejected most of the time, because of course they tell you the handwriting, they see if the handwriting is the same or not, and if they suspect that the handwriting of the student, of the applicant, is the same as the reference form, they would reject it. So please be very careful with this. So whatever you do, do not fill it yourself. Also, you have to tell your referees that once the form goes to with the documentation to the GDC, they would send an email back after some time, and just to verify, and your referees have to respond to the email as soon as possible. So just let them know that as well. One quick tip to add in all this, and this is actually from my personal experience back in 2017 when I had planned to give the ORE. What I did was, when I sent the application to the GDC, my application form got rejected. And the reason was because they said my own signatures were not matching. So one signature I think I did on one page and the other on another page of the form, but those two signatures were not matching 100%. And it's very strange because both of them were done by me 100%, but they still did not match. So then the next time I was extremely careful that I don't carelessly just vaguely sign it. I made sure that the signatures are the same. So this is another point, that just be very careful, because my documentation, my form got rejected because of that long time back. Okay, so this is the entire process of how do you register for the ORE exam. I wish all of you a very good luck, and definitely you all will nail it. Please do not lose hope. And of course, if there are any questions, you're more than welcome to message me on Instagram or my Gmail account. The ID and the account details are mentioned right below this video. So good luck once again, and have a lovely day. Thank you very much. And please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.